United Cable Television Channel 63 presents the UCTV Sports High School Football Game of the Week.
Today from Berkeley High School, it's the Kimball Knights taking on the Berkeley Bears. Hello everyone, Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson here at Berkeley High School, where today the Berkeley Bears host the Kimball Knights. Kimball Knights come in with a record of 2-1, and the Berkeley Bears, having a tough time last week against Seaholm, have a record of 0-3.
Yeah, the Bears are 0-3, but they could have won the game last week, losing by 1 point on a blocked extra point. Look for number 22, Jeff Burks, to carry the ball, catch the ball, carry the water, do everything for the team today. He doesn't change in the locker room. He goes in the phone booth and changes for the games.
So Jeff Burks pretty much does the job. He'll be coming out of the backfield for the Bears. On the other side, the Kimball Knights, they will mix it up. They'll pass the ball as well, but they had a big receiver hurt, a 6'5 receiver hurt earlier this year, so that might hurt their passing game, but they still mix up the pass.
Yeah, well, they lost him the first day of practice, but they'll still pass about 40% of the time. They got a great offensive line. They will try to run the ball to set up the pass, but they will mix it up more, as you said. They come in with a 2-1 record. Their one loss being to one of the top-ranked teams in the state, Troy High.
Okay, we've had some rain last night, and the field conditions are not the greatest in the world. We'll talk about that when we come back for the kickoff right after these messages. UCTV Sports back here at Berkeley High School in Berkeley, Michigan. Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson. And we talked about the field conditions in the open of the program, and they are just atrocious along the sidelines. Here you can see along the sidelines as the Berkeley Bears head over to the bench. That's how bad it is along the sidelines. Now, fortunately, that's right on the very edge of the field, but if you, it's not much better on the field.
No, not much better, but a lot of that, you know, they were out there sweeping the water off, so there's going to be more on the sidelines. And both coaches said that outside the hash marks, it's much worse than it is down the middle of the field. But still, it's going to be a problem for both teams as far as making cuts.
Okay, I didn't mean to ask you a question while you were eating, Joe. Sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, both teams not off to the best of starts this season. You can tell here's the conference record for Kimball, 1-1, 2-1 overall. Berkeley 0-2 and 0-3 overall. But again, Joe mentioned they had a very good showing against Seaholm. And Seaholm is a very tough team, too.
Yeah, Seaholm always one of the top teams in their league. And last week, Seaholm won 13-12. And as one of the Berkeley people pointed out to us, Seaholm had kicked a field goal, and there was a roughing the kicker call with under a minute left in the half, and decided to take the points off the board, went for the touchdown and got it. Mm-hmm. And then Berkeley scores near the end of the game and got their extra point blocked, and that was the difference.
And that was a big difference, 1 point. Separating Berkeley from a victory. Barber will do the kicking. That is Rick Barber, number 68. And back to receive. Well, that is the up man, number 14 for Kimball. And that is Barbado, Jeff Barbado. But they go deep. And taking it back there, the Kimball Knights get it in pretty good field position up around the 40. Taking it, number 33. And that was Obranovic. Jason Obranovic, also a punter for the team, and pretty good halfback for them. He'll be used a lot today.
Oh yeah, you know, normally, you know, they say that they pass 40% of the time. I don't know if they're going to do that with this kind of weather, you know, or this kind of field conditions. It's not raining at all now. It's actually kind of a nice day, but for Kimball right now, I think they're just going to have to establish a running game between the hash marks.
John Forty, the quarterback, handing off on a straight dive, and the Berkeley Bears stop him. On the carry, number 34, Lou Barbado, the fullback. At 5'7", 188, he's a senior, and brings up a second down and a long 8 coming up.
Yeah, now it's going to be a little tough for a while getting their footing out there. We walked across that field, and the left side of the 50-yard line, the side that they're still on, is much worse than the other side.
40 handing off again to Barbado. Barbado cutting outside and close to a first down. Looks like he may have gotten it. With the play going pretty much in the middle of the field through most of the game, if you would be the coach, you'd probably run the ball pretty much up the middle of the field. You know that the field conditions are going to get worse. There's Pat Fox, the head coach for the Berkeley Bears, and here's the replay.
There you can see basic, mini sweep almost, and took it more or less off tackle. Now they're going to have to measure for the first down.
They're measuring.
Interestingly enough, Berkeley, when they're on offense, they run the sweep, but Pat Fox said their sweep's designed to go inside. The measurement there, they made it by about the nose of the football.
We had a steady rain here last night, and that's what contributed to the poor field conditions. But as I was mentioning, Joe, with both teams probably going to run the ball up and down the middle of the field, that's going to wear on the middle of the field, and then that will be pretty much like the outside.
Yeah, it will end up getting torn up, and that could be a big factor if it's a close game and someone needs to try to kick a field goal.
Yeah, right now we've got partly cloudy skies, as you see, and the wind is really kicking up, so they're forecasting more rain for later on this afternoon. A handoff inside. And the carry by number 30. Again, this is one of those rosters where they go alphabetical order, so we're going to have to find. That is Brad Campbell, the halfback. Another senior at 5'8", 174 on the carry, gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 coming up.
So far, though, they're still establishing the running game. Even if they only get a yard or two on first down, they were able to get the first down a couple plays ago. They should be able to keep it going.
You saw Pat Fox in his second year here at Berkeley as their head coach. The quick pass, and not even a slant, and just a quick pass straight down the middle of the field, and a good reception by Jeff Harris. Harris at 5'11", 170. He's a senior, and a man they're going to go to a lot.
Oh, most definitely. And one thing, is a theory, I don't know if it's correct or not, that this kind of field condition favors the offense if you're going to pass, because at least the receiver knows where he's going. And in that case, the defensive back was kind of caught off guard a little bit and wasn't able to adjust to that pass play, and it gave the receiver just enough time to catch it and gain a couple yards, got him the first down.
1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line, or correction, that'll be the 34-yard line. Handoff on a straight dive again. That is Brad Campbell on the carry. And the Kimball Knights moving the ball pretty well on their first possession. Gain of about 3 yards on that. Will be 2nd and a long 7 coming up.
Well, 3 times on first down, they've run the same play each time. Probably going to try to mix it up a little more. In this, one other thing about this field is we've mentioned it being so bad on the outside. It makes it a little more obvious that they should go left on this play. Of course, now they're probably going to come right, but.
And the bootleg, quarterback takes it outside 40, has a first down and more. Down inside the 15-yard line to about the 11 or 12. So John 40 on a big carry.
Naked bootleg looked a little bit like what the Lions ran last week with Bob Galliano.
And they did run left, yeah.
12-yard line.
You see a concerned Berkeley Bear as the Kimball Knights are taking it on their first possession, taking it right up the field. Ball on the 12-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. The Kimball Knights on their first possession, moving it up and mixing it up pretty well. Handoff to the tailback, and it's number 33 in there. Correction, the fullback. And a big carry by Jason Obranovic. And again, we'll be calling his number a lot. He is their punter, he's their returner, and he gets in there to carry the ball that time for a nice carry of about 4 yards. So it'll be 2nd and about 6 coming up. Here we see some of the fans here, Joe. It is a nice fall afternoon.
Nice fall afternoon, nice day to be in Ann Arbor or East Lansing.
Or here
or
at Berkeley. Full house in the backfield, the handoff on a counter play to the tailback, and he gets in for the touchdown. And a big carry by Jeff Harris, who was lined up in the backfield as a receiver, lined up in the backfield as a running back, rather. He's normally the receiver, and got in for the touchdown. Quick back and quick receiver. He gets in there for the first 6 points of the game.
And so far, the Kimball offense has shown that it can handle itself out here in this field. Pressure's going to be on the Berkeley offense when they get the ball to do the same. Because, as you had mentioned earlier, this field is going to get torn up as the game goes on, and it is important to score early today.
So Harris scores with 7:54 left here in the first quarter. And the Kimball Knights have taken their first possession. That's very tough for most of the teams that we've seen. The extra point attempt is up. It is good. And the Kimball Knights lead 7-0. Here's the touchdown as Harris was lined up in the backfield.
Yeah, very simple off-tackle run by Harris. We saw him catch that pass a few plays earlier for a big first down. Just ran over a couple of Berkeley defenders into the end zone.
So Harris with a 7-yard run. Gets in, 8 yards from about the 8-yard line. And there we see the new head coach here for the Kimball Knights, first year, Terry Powers. And, well, we saw him for a second there. We had the big Berkeley Bears wearing their all-red uniforms today, kind of reminiscent of the Clemson team when they wear that orange.
Well, that's not what it reminded me of. Yeah, I saw them play last week. They wore all
Joe, I've
white.
noticed you've become a little opinionated this season. You're not holding anything back. You just come right out and say what you feel.
Yeah.
Which is good. But,
Well,
but the
thank
thing
you.
is, remember what happened to Howard Cosell when he did that.
That's true. Well, and I haven't offended or I haven't, said anything like that. I don't think. But
Well, some of these guys maybe.
These,
you're cutting down their uniforms.
I didn't cut their uniforms down.
Okay,
I said they don't
like them.
remind me of Clemson.
Oh, okay.
All I said is they don't remind me of Clemson. They remind me of something else.
Okay, you're
Remind me
right.
of Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
I probably took it the other way,
Yeah.
so it's my fault. Here we go. The Berkeley Bears now in their first possession will try to do something. A good stick in there by the Knights. Number 44, Jeff Carter on the hit. On the carry, number 42, Robert Graham.
Good field position for the Bears to start. I was not putting down the uniform. Seriously,
I know,
Clemson
it
was not
just
what
me.
I thought of.
Here's head coach Pat Fox.
Yeah, one of the more animated coaches. One of the younger coaches, too.
Yep, in his second year here at Berkeley. John Kay, the quarterback. 5'10", 165. Handing off to the man we're going to be calling a lot, Jeff Burks. Running to the outside and running to really into a lot of mud and a lot of soft grass over there.
Yeah, when we talked to Pat Fox before the game, we said, what are you going to do? He said, we're going to give the ball to 22. And the next question was, well, what if you pass? He said, well, we'll pass the ball to 22. And that's basically what they're going to do. As you can see, the scoring drive took a little time off the clock. 8 plays, 63 yards. No big gainers with the exception of that one pass to Harris.
So Harris on a big play and then finally got the touchdown for the Kimball Knights. And now the Berkeley Bears going with their big man, Jeff Burks, on his second carry. And the Bears have a 3rd and long coming up, 3rd and about 5.
So they'll probably run Burks on one of those sweeps, which Pat Fox says is really designed to go inside. Their sweeps don't go much past the tight end. And if it's possible, they'll cut right up the middle, I would think, in these kind of conditions. They're still on the right side of the 50-yard line, which, as we said earlier, is not as bad as the other side.
Here you see John Kay, the quarterback. He's a junior. He's got a 3rd and 4 coming up now. The handoff to the tailback, spinning and turning and picking up the first down is number 40, Ed Ashcroft, a junior, 5'9", 160. Picks up the first down, and a play where you would think they would call number 22 again. They go with the tailback.
And I would think Kimball was thinking that too, and obviously trying to confuse them a little bit. The decision worked for the Bears, and they got the first down.
So the Bears now up across the 45 to the 46-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. The handoff again to Burks, tripped up in the backfield, but manages to head up and gain a couple of yards out of it.
He really shouldn't have gained anything. He got a couple yards. Good, strong
Most
run.
backs would have been stopped in the backfield.
Most definitely, and we haven't seen him pass yet, and we're probably not gonna for a long time.
So it'll be 2nd and about 8 coming up. Let's take a look.
Yeah, this is one of those, I don't know if you'd call that a sweep off the tight end, but tried to take it as much outside as the Bears are going to go today. Got about 2 yards out of that play.
Talking to Pat Fox before the game, they will run the sweeps, and this is what they like to do right there. Inside the end and the tackle, and they stop the big running back, Burks, again. The Burks had a big game against Seaholm last week.
And he had a run, had to be about 60 yards, ran it down to the 4-yard line. And I just remember he ran off the field real quick, caught his breath, sat out a play, came back in, and I think he scored the touchdown on the next play. But I just remember watching the game, waiting to hear the PA guy say, I remember this name because I know this guy's going to do everything next week.
Yep. And he's got some nice size. 6 foot, 205 pounds, so pretty good size out there. 3rd and long, and passing, and completing, and picking up the first down and more. The Bears get into Kimball territory on the pass to Zakowski. Steve Zakowski, the split end, senior, 5'11", 150, and a big reception.
Yeah, nice turnaround after he caught it, gained about 3 yards after the catch, which was enough for the first down. I think there you saw the conditions of the field near the sidelines.
Yeah, let's take a look again.
Take a look at this. Just a quick out pass to Zakowski. He's going to catch it and turn around. As he turns around, he gets tripped up a little bit, but more or less loses his footing there because of the slippery ground.
Because of the ground, not so much the defender. 1st and 10 now for the Bears on their first possession. They're moving the ball well. The handoff to the tailback, and that is Ashcroft. Ashcroft on his second carry came up with a big first down carry on his first attempt. We're at the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter.
Second attempt.
Pardon?
Ashcroft.
Yeah, that was his second attempt.
Oh,
But back on his first,
okay.
on his first attempt, he picked up that first down,
Right,
which
okay.
helped the Bears on a 3rd and long. 2nd down and 7 coming up. Burks hit hard as he breaks the line of scrimmage and gets into the backfield. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long now for the Bears, but they've been in this situation a number of times on this drive.
Well, we've seen the one pass attempt that they tried to use work. Last time they had this situation, we saw Ashcroft carry the ball, although it was only 3rd and 4. Probably a passing situation this time again.
3rd and 6 coming up now for the Berkeley Bears. They are in Kimball territory, ball at about the 36-yard line. Back to pass, and a little screen out, and that could have been a fumble. Let's see, it is. No whistle, finally a whistle. And who's got it? Kimball's got it. It is a fumble. He was throwing back across the body. It was not a forward pass, and the Kimball Knights, not hearing the whistle, went for the ball and came up with it.
It's one of the first things they teach you. You know, you saw a couple weeks ago the Atlanta Falcons did that against Houston Oilers. The whistle never blew, so the guy picked up the ball and ran with it. You know, whether it's, in that case, this was the right call by the official, but whether it's right or wrong, whistle doesn't blow, jump on the ball. And the Knights did, and they're going to take advantage of this opportunity.
It's even taught in practice. Go until you hear the whistle in practice, and that is why right there. The Kimball Knights come up with a pretty good field position, really, after no punt from the Bears as they pick it up. At about the 42-yard line, hit right at the line of scrimmage, and the Knights don't get much on that one.
And he gets up a little gingerly. The Bear defensive line just stuck through there right at the snap.
Let's take a look right here at the line of scrimmage. The handoff going to the tailback.
They're in the backfield before he got the ball. Never had a chance to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
And that was Brad Campbell on the carry. No gain. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nearing the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. I formation in the backfield, and the tailback is really deep. Up for grabs, and incomplete. Both the defender and the receiver going for it, intended for Jeff Harris. But the pass by 40 was kind of a desperation pass, really. Just kind of lofted it up there.
Yeah, he was thrown against his body, and the play was there, and the receiver was open for a while. But suddenly his 40 set up, and he had no blocking in front of him. He had to get rid of the ball a little quicker than he had planned, and the ball kind of lofted up.
Yep. The clock stops as Kimball calls timeout with 1:54 left in the first quarter. We're at Berkeley High School, where the Berkeley Bears are hosting the Kimball Knights. Kimball leads 7-0 right now after taking their first drive for a successful score and extra point. Don't forget the Roadshow video right here on UCTV 63 with
Pat and Bill.
Pat and Bill, or Bill and Pat.
Bill and Pat.
We got to get that straight from Pat. Tell us whose name we want to say
I
first.
figure Pat should go first because he's the boss.
Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 9:30 here on UCTV 63. There you see the beautiful sky And the clouds rolling through. The forecast is for showers, spotty showers later on this afternoon, but that is something we do not need down on the field. Kimball leads 7-0. And right now the Berkeley cheerleaders trying to cheer their team on as the Bears did pretty good on their first possession, converted on some key third down plays, but then stalled as they had a third and pretty much their third and long, the longest third down play that they had to go for.
And actually, had he made the catch, it was a fumble. Technically a lateral, as you see Pat Fox. Looked like he had the field open in front of him to get that first down. They probably would still be driving. And, in this kind of weather, turnovers are going to play a big factor. And you can't say it enough times. You got to score early when the field's like this.
Yep. Saw the nice turnout here and a nice fall afternoon at Berkeley. A little bit of movement on the end for Kimball, but no flag thrown. The pass downfield caught. And it's off to the races, finally brought down, but what a play as the defender went over number 14, Jeff Barbado.
Well, yeah, the defender went for the interception.
Yeah.
And went right through his hands. And Barbado alertly caught the ball, which is tough to do when someone's jumping in front of your face like that.
Yeah. Good concentration.
Yeah, I think after he realized that it was there, he took off upfield. 3 times we've seen that naked bootleg setup run with the Knights. The first time went for a nice run. Second time was that pass play a couple seconds ago where the quarterback got drilled as he threw the ball. And then that time where the pass wasn't that great, but it got there and they got the first down. And if you look at the back of the quarterback's jersey, you can see that he's been nailed a couple times on that play.
Yep, 1st and 10, the end around, and Harris getting his number called again, and a big first down carry. So Harris coming up with a big reception in the first drive, and now running the ball. He also got the touchdown for Kimball, so he has shown us his speed, even with the poor field conditions.
Yeah, he's definitely been the biggest factor out there for the Knights, along with their quarterback, who's just, like I said, that naked bootleg. Now, I think that the Bears have adjusted to that, which is why the play, even though they got the completion out of that, the play isn't working as smoothly as it did the first time.
From the end zone as the Knights try to do it, and a big hit. And guess who got in there? Jeff Burks, the big halfback on offense, gets in there defensively to stop the Knights on a loss.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He was come to think of it, last week he was one of the better defensive players as well, making some key tackles for the Bears. Now he's going to have to make several key tackles inside the 20-yard line if he wants to keep the Knights out of the end zone.
Yeah, you need a player like that with his size to help you out defensively as well. And he lines up as a linebacker, a middle linebacker, 1 of 2. 2nd and 11. Back to pass, 40, complete and dropped. No, incomplete. He had it, was drilled right as I said complete, and how many times has that happened this year? And a nice pass to get it in there. He had nothing but defenders around him.
Oh yeah, Harris had it in his hands, and I think it was Zakowski came up, just drilled him. And I'll tell you, fortunately for Harris, he didn't have it long enough to be considered a completion.
So it brings up 3rd and long with 34 seconds left here in the first quarter. Let's take a look.
Well, you can see they had 2 receivers split out to the right side. They went to the closer receiver, Harris, hit his hands, got tripped up by one of the players on the ground, and then Zakowski came, hit him up high, and knocked the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, you can see there was nothing but red around him, so he had to thread the needle on that pass, and he did.
Cameraman had to love that.
The handoff, or no, keeping it, and just surrounded in a sea of red as he is hit for another loss, or really trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's 4th and long, 4th and 11 now for the Knights. So the Berkeley Bears defense stands up now in a big 4th down play here. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, well, it's hard to run that play to the short side of the field, which is what they had to do that time. Quarterback 40 is also their place kicker, and we had asked the coach beforehand how far he can kick a field goal. He said maybe 25-yard line at the most. And that's about where it would be from, maybe a little farther than that, I think. And, well, they've got the end of the quarter to rethink if they want to go for it or try to kick the field goal, as you can see him talking to the coach on the sidelines.
They will go to the other end of the field, and if you're wondering where the wind is blowing, it may help them just a little bit. The wind pretty much going across the field, not so much north and south. So the wind will not really help the Kimball Knights if they do go for a field goal. But I think they're going Anyway, they're going to go for the first down with the field position they have. Don't forget to tune in next week. We're at Berkeley right now. Next week, we'll be at Troy when Ferndale will take on Troy. Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. right here on UCTV 63. And the Troy Colts still, they had some question whether they were going to practice, whether they were going to play with the teacher strike that the Troy schools went through. But they have practiced, and they have done pretty well.
Pretty well. They're one of the top 10 teams in the state right now in the top division, the Class AA, with as good a chance as anybody, to get a state playoff berth. And from there, you just need a little winning streak to win the whole thing.
And the Colts, always a great team and a pretty good matchup as they take on Ferndale. Here we go, 4th and 11 now for the Kimball Knights as we begin the second quarter. They're going for it in the end zone, and nothing there. Just led him a little too far. The defender right there getting in the way, and pretty much no chance to get that anyway.
No, there was no way that he was going to catch that, which is probably why you didn't see a flag thrown for pass interference. Now the Bears are going to take over first down, but inside their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that is why the Kimball Knights went for it. No need to really try for a field goal when you know your chances aren't as slim, and if they're just as good for going for a 6-pointer rather than the 3 points. So here come the Bears now with their second possession of the game. The Kimball Knights pretty much dominating that first quarter. The carry taken by number 40, and a good carry by Ashcroft again. He's been getting his number called a couple of times. Gain of about 4 yards, so Ashcroft has picked up a little bit of slack where they have been concentrating on Burks.
And he's going to have to do that. Any team that's got a great running back is going to need a second one just to keep the defense honest. But I would almost be certain, I'd almost bet on it, that when it comes down to the big plays near the end of the game, Burks is going to be the guy with the ball.
We're in the second quarter. The Berkeley Bears trailing 7-0. Incomplete pass out there and wide open, really, was number 24, Zakowski. And he had to dive back a little bit to get that one.
Well, quarterback threw it behind him. I think he kind of hurried his pass a little bit. Just kind of took the 3-step drop, turned and threw it to him. He was wide open. Probably go back to that play a little later on because it is there.
The defensive back was playing well off of Zakowski, so they should look for that play later on. Here we go, 3rd and 6, and a must play here for the Bears. Burks shakes one tackle and drives forward, finally getting tackled by 3 or 4 Knights.
And that's going to depend on the spot.
Let's see where they give it to him. That's going to be darn close to a first down. A good effort by Burks as he shook the first initial hit and continued to drive on to get close to a first down.
And I think the official just called a timeout. He wants to measure for it. And this could be, the first measurement we saw was within inches, and this one probably will be as well. See, coming out of the wing T, Burks just takes it right up the middle and drags 3 or 4 defenders with him.
Yeah.
And that last little lunge, as they pulled him back, it's all a matter of the spot.
Right. And it looks like he's got it from where I'm at, I'll tell you. Seeing where the flag was on the far side of the field and seeing where they marked it, he does have it.
Another one that was by the tip of the ball.
A big first down carry for Jeff Burks. And the Berkeley Bears are in business now. As you see their quarterback, John Kay. We're at Berkeley High School. Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson. And the Bears trail 7-0 here in the second quarter, 10:45 left. Kay, the quarterback. And it was kind of like a Canadian football there as Burks started heading towards the line of scrimmage before this ball was snapped. So some illegal motion in the backfield there.
And he knew it the minute he stepped. You could kind of see him try to stop and just threw off the whole timing of the play. And quarterback Kay just went on with the snap count, and the official threw the flag as soon as the ball was snapped.
That hurts after you get a big third down conversion to come up with a loss like this on a first down play. So it'll bring up 1st and 15 now for the Bears. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to that one pass out there where the receivers are 1-on-1 against the defensive back, because that was open. And Kay has shown us some ability to throw the ball. So
the play is there. The only concern they have is with one of the outside linebackers playing almost a cornerback, being able to pick that off.
the handoff to Burks. Burks cutting inside the end and cuts upfield. Back almost to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be short of that. So it'll bring up a second and about 11 or 12 coming up now.
Yeah, got an unfavorable spot that time.
Yeah.
The thing with a player like Burks is, you keep going to him, getting 3, 4, maybe a 7-yard gain every now and then, and you hope that one of these times he's going to break one of those 50 or 60-yarders.
And he definitely has the ability to do that. You have to question that, though, on the condition of the field today, though, if he could do that. But once he gets past that line of scrimmage, anything can happen. Here's the pass downfield intended for, still up for grabs. The ball was bouncing around off the back of the defender, Jeff Harris. It was intended down there for Zakowski.
Yeah, Zakowski had his hands on it. Harris had his hands on it. Another defender, I think, had his hands on it as well. Harris been all over the field offensively and defensively today.
Clock stopped now with 9:32 left in the second quarter, and it brings up another big third down call here for Pat Fox and the Berkeley Bears. Let's take a look at the play.
Yeah, again,
isolation on the quarterback.
We've seen with both teams, quarterback getting drilled as he throws it and the ball kind of hanging in the air a little longer than it should. Zakowski was open for a while, but the ball being up there like that meant that the defenders had time to come up and get him. Berkeley calls timeout now as they have the third down and 12.
Good coverage by the camera crew there and getting a good shot of the quarterback Kay getting hit and also following downfield. You see the ball bouncing around off the players. Don't forget to watch Oakland Press Perspective with Neil Monroe. That's Fridays at 8:30 p.m. right here on UCTV 63 for a lot of issues, local issues, and issues concerning the state of Michigan. Watch that with Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press. You can see the clouds more and more starting to roll in now. But the sunshine pretty much dominating, and that's good news. As most of us know here, we've had some pretty rainy weekends in Michigan the past few months. Here is the evidence of it as we take a look at some of the grass and the mud, and, well, we don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it was all over the place. And especially on the sidelines where the two teams are standing, it is just a mud bowl.
Yeah, the field conditions are they're definitely as bad as we've seen this year, and probably as bad as we've seen in a couple of years.
3rd and 12 for the Bears. To pass, and now running. And brought down from behind is John Kay by number 42, Chad McNaughton, getting in there and to stop the quarterback.
McNaughton, if he hadn't got him and he just got him by the back of the jersey, it would have been very close because Kay had the angle and he had a little bit open field. And, you can't really tell in that part of the field because of the condition of it, but he would have been very close to the first down. Now they've got 4th down and 8.
Yep, let's take a look at McNaughton stepping up on the defensive line, and now he shakes loose and catches him from behind.
Just got him by the jersey and swung him to the ground.
And the punt. The first punt of the game that we've seen. It'll be Harris to return. He goes straight up the field, crosses the 50-yard line and into Berkeley territory. So Pat Fox trying to fire up his team here. Couldn't do anything on his second possession. Will try to stop the Knights again defensively. The Knights moved the ball well in their 2 possessions, and then the Berkeley Bears stood up on that second one and stopped them on a 3rd and long, or 4th and long even. They went for it on the 4th down inside the 20-yard line. So the ball on about the 48, 1st and 10 there.
And so far, as we expected, the Knights are running probably more than they usually do because of the field. And actually probably because it's working too.
Full house in the backfield, a handoff to Obranovic. Or correction, it was Campbell, number 30.
Well, you've got to be looking when the Knights run the ball. They're going to run off tackle most of the time. Both their tackles are college prospects, big players, experienced players, good blocking ability. Coach Powers feels both of them may be able to play in the Mid-American Conference or, something similar to that caliber.
And some big tackles too. The handoff to the first man through. And they're getting close to that first down marker. 3rd and short yardage coming up.
Bubba, come on up in the mud. Stop by Ashcroft.
The 2 tackles that we talked about are Roland and Mason. Mark Mason, at 6'2", 234 listed. And Roland at 6'3", 240. So some big size for some high school players there on that front line. They're going to run behind them too on a 3rd and 2 coming up. The handoff to Harris, hit at the line of scrimmage and knocked back for a gain of maybe a half a yard to a yard. It'll be 4th and short yardage again. And decision time now for the Knights.
And if you really want to be impressed, the Berkeley coaches are next to us, and they were yelling that they only had 10 guys out there. So they just stopped the Knights with
10 players.
With 10 players, yeah. And the Knights did run off tackle that time.
Here we go again now. 4th and about a yard and a half. Full house in the backfield, 2 tight ends. And a quarterback sneak picks up the first down for the Knights.
Well,
let's see. Oh, this will be close too.
The spot is, I was watching where that official was walking. And this could be another measurement.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Definitely will be. It's going to be close.
Hate to guess on this. I think he got it, but.
Go Bears!
And the officials, they're bringing the chains out now.
Yep.
So far, both measurements today have been a matter of inches, but both times they were first downs.
7:06 left here in the second quarter. Let's take a look at the measurement.
Again,
and it's a first down.
Again, not even the length of the football got it for him.
So I have not seen this many. We've had some measurements today. We have not had that many, I think, total all season.
And still the clock's moving real well for us.
7 minutes left now in the second quarter. And the Kimball Knights on their 3rd possession, moving it into Bear territory. Ball at about the 38-yard line of the Bears. 1st and 10 there. Fumble picked up and intercepted by the Bears. The quarterback just tried to get rid of it, and 40.
I think it was intercepted by the other quarterback.
Yeah. 40 throws it right in the hands of John Kay. So Kay says, good, I want to throw the ball now.
I'll tell you, with the fumble, it threw everything off. 40 picked the ball up, and didn't seem like he really looked at what he was doing. He just kind of ran the play like it was supposed to be run. At that point, Kay had seen the receiver make his cut. Here you see the fumble. At this point, Kay sees the intended receiver make his cut, knows that the play's coming. He's standing right in front of him.
So not much Harris could do, but just watch Kay intercept the ball. And the Bears are in business again. Cutting outside Burks, and it's strung out well by the defense of Kimball. Kimball stringing it out, and Burks just couldn't get anywhere on it. And again, that middle of the field is getting eaten up, especially right around where they are right now. We've seen a lot of action in that area of the field. And now the footing is even getting bad in the center of the field.
Yeah, there's definitely been more action on that side of the field, which, was worse when the game started. Now there's probably nowhere where you can get any real good footing on it. The other side of the field hasn't been touched, though.
2nd and 11. Kay on the reverse, handing off on the inside, and squirming close to the original line of scrimmage is number 36 for the Berkeley Bears, and that is Cascade on the end around.
I tell you, they run so much misdirection here. It's hard for us to keep track of where the ball is. Hard for the defense, too. Kay got drilled on that after he handed it off just because the defense didn't know whether he still had it or not, and he came up limping a little bit.
It'll bring up a 3rd and about 8 now for the Bears. They came up with a big interception from John Kay and picked up the ball in their own territory as the Knights looked like they were going to move in for another score. 3rd and 8. Kay rolls out back to pass. Has some pressure now and is brought down back at around the original line of scrimmage by the Knights, and it'll bring up a 4th and long.
Well, Well, Kay didn't see an open receiver downfield, probably did the smart thing with the ball. Kept it, turned it upfield, tried to get something out of it. Ended up giving him a 4th down and 10.
So the Kimball defense comes out fired up after the interception and stops the Bears now. Let's take a look.
Well, here you can see just a rollout pattern. He's looking downfield, trying to find an open receiver. And from what he could see, there wasn't anyone open. There were some players down there who were covered a little bit, and you can't tell from up here what the angle would have been.
Strelke finally bringing Kay down. Here's Wright. It gets a Kimball hop and stops at about the 41-yard line, and that's where the Knights will get it. So the Knights, again, with pretty good field position, and it puts a little bit of pressure, too, on the Berkeley Bears defense and Pat Fox.
Well, with just over 4 minutes left in the half, the Knights have exactly the amount of time, really, that they probably want. Where if they can set up a touchdown drive here, it's going to take all that time off the clock unless they were to get a big play.
Especially to run the ball the way they have been doing.
Well, yeah, and
penalty now has been assessed to the Knights.
Well, that'll be interesting. Even when they pass the ball, though, it's little slant in patterns, so they're not taking it to the sidelines at all.
They're going to mark off a Big Ten 15-yard penalty now. So it'll be 1st and 25 for the Knights. So what was good field position now turns up to be a 1st and 25 on the 25-yard line.
Apparently some sort of personal foul, but never saw the real indication of what it was. We don't know what happened down there. Probably after the play, though.
Yep.
Well, it had to be after the play if it's 1st and 25.
A handoff straight up to number 34. That is Barbado, Lou Barbado on the carry.
We got a sense over here. 40, shoot.
It'll be 2nd and about 25 again now for the Knights. So a team that has been pretty much running the ball, this is a lot of yardage to make up.
Well, at this point, they've got a decision to make. If they realistically think they can get this 1st down, they might want to try to pass. If not, they might want to use up all 25 seconds between each play, run the ball a couple of times, and get the clock down so low that punt the ball back to the Bears and not give them enough time to get the ball into the end zone.
They do pass, intended for Harris, and we're going to see a flag here. No. Harris didn't like the way he was hit and threw down the defender, and I was surprised that I didn't see a flag on the play.
Well, what happened to Harris that time, he got hit as the ball hit him, and the ball was incomplete, and the defender, Zakowski, held on to him a little longer.
Yeah.
Of course, now, can't blame Zakowski. He doesn't
Zakowski didn't know that it was dropped.
He doesn't know whether it's there or not. So it's just, I think, a case of emotions going a little too far both sides. Here you'll see ball just over Kay's outstretched hands. Harris hits him, and there he's being held on to, and that's about the point where he was a little annoyed.
Yeah.
And
can't blame Zakowski.
No.
He did not know that it was fumbled, but you do stop when you hear that whistle.
Probably a good no call.
Pass downfield, Harris. No, nothing there. And Harris meets Zakowski again. Zakowski using a little pat on the back, so
well,
no problem there.
Zakowski probably knows what Harris was doing the
Yeah.
play before, and like I said, I think the refs made a good decision not throwing a flag on that play, and I think both players know the situation.
As it turns out on that.
Well,
you can tell.
Zakowski, being a receiver as well, probably knows he might have done the same thing in his
That's right.
situation. Now the Bears will get the ball back, probably with enough time.
Yeah, the first punt here for Kimball, and this will be short, fielded at about the 46, and the Bears now into Kimball territory. The return taken by Ken Carson, the junior 5'9" and 150, returns it into Knights territory.
And just under 3 minutes left for the Bears to go 48 yards for the score. Probably going to have to pass the ball a little bit here. The only other time today that they've been on the other side of the 50-yard line, they ended up with that lateral that got called a fumble and turned the ball over. They've got 2 timeouts left. Clock is running. They're going to have to hurry up and get something going here.
1st and 10, ball on the 48-yard line of the Knights. The Bears with 2:35 now to try to get it in the end zone and tie it up. Kay on a quick pattern out there and then trying to get him out of bounds to stop the clock, but no. Zakowski got out there and complete and good yardage on a 1st down play. But we have a flag down. It's a holding call against the Bears. And we'll bring this one back. So that stops the clock at 2:19 left in the second quarter. Clouds increasing. And that's all we need is more rain here to to worsen the field conditions.
You know, the clouds are there, but beyond the clouds is the sun out. Yeah, that'd be a weird. I mean, you can see it.
Can I write that down? Beyond the clouds is the sun.
Okay,
let's
fine.
take a look.
You know, it's a nice day here. You can see the pass to Zakowski. Good for the first down. And there Harris gets him. And what after the run after the catch gave him the first down? Oh, I'm saying it is a sunny day.
Yeah.
It's not like it's an overcast, gloomy day.
Yeah. First and 20 now for the Bears. So again, a passing down. They do the same thing to Zakowski. Again, trying to get out of bounds. But they get back close to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be about 2nd and 14 coming up.
I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting the rest of the game to watch as Harris and Zakowski covering each other offensively and defensively. And Harris that time stuck Zakowski after he caught the ball, tackled him kind of hard. Both of them got up, kind of acknowledged each other. You know, you can't tell from up here whether this is friendly or not, but there is a good rivalry going on down there within the game.
Can't say it's clean either because they're all dirty. 2nd and 14. Taking it and heading upfield. Can't go anywhere. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 14 now.
Yeah, he wanted to take that a little farther to the outside, and the defensive end came in and shut that off. And an inside linebacker came in after it, was able to stop the whole play, and they end up losing yardage. Or, well, they probably gained about a yard, but now Berkeley uses one of its last 2 timeouts.
So 3rd and 13 now for the Bears. And heading out is Pat Fox. There we see Powers, the head coach of the Kimball Knights, Terry Powers. This is Pat Fox heading out to the field to talk to his team. As Burks heads off.
Probably going to put another receiver in. Oh, I'd keep Burks in there just to block with that size. They've got another quarterback warming up down here, who I believe is the better passer of the 2 quarterbacks. And maybe they're setting up for that, you know, maybe 1 or 2 plays.
No, 15 is the running quarterback. That is.
Okay.
That's Trevor Miles. He's only at 5'8". John Kay is at 5'10".
That's right.
So John Kay.
They're not going to run the option right now, I don't think.
As Pat Fox heads off. Wind has whipped up, and it is going from right to left on your screen. 1:10 left in the first half. The Berkeley Bears have a 3rd and 14 now. Back to pass, complete, and the pitch, and the trick play works. Look out! Touchdown, Berkeley! But we have a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, man, if that's against Berkeley.
Ken Carson for the Berkeley Bears.
It looks like it's against Berkeley.
And it is. They'll bring it back.
Oh, man.
Clipping the call. What a play, though, by Pat Fox, and what a gutsy call. Let's take a look at it.
Just to call the old hook.
Short pass.
Yeah, the old hook and lateral. Runs a little button hook, laterals back to a trailing back. I tell you, that play, as old as it is, works.
Yep.
I mean, you can run that in Little League, you can run that in the NFL, and it works. You know, the Miami Dolphins ran that early 80s against San Diego Chargers in the playoff game.
The longest game ever played, where Kellen Winslow had to be dragged off the field a number of times.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they have been going to Zakowski outside on that pattern, and he's been so trusty out there. They went to him again, pitched it back, and you can see John Kay now. I'll tell you, this guy's been in battle. Look at him.
Yeah, they pulled him out. And it's 3rd down and 41 to go.
They pulled him out. He's been doing the job. He's been hitting his receivers.
It's 3rd and 41.
3rd and 41.
I mean,
with 1 minute left.
They probably want to let him just rest up for the rest of this half. This has got to be. I've never seen 3rd and anywhere near 41 before.
Fumble. Who's got it? No.
22. Burks
picked it up and tried to advance it a little bit. And it'll be 4th down now, and a punting down definitely.
Kimball wants a timeout. They want the ball back. They'll probably try to block this punt.
Kimball will try to go for it since the ball is right down there in the Bear territory with 54 seconds left. They've got time to kick a field goal, and the wind is constantly changing. It is back now blowing across the field rather than from right to left.
Yeah, well, you know, the ball is on the 21-yard line, going to punt it from about his, 12, 13. If they can get a block, they're definitely in scoring position, and even if they don't,
they probably get it within midfield.
Most definitely, and if Harris can get a return out of this.
There you see the clouds rolling in now, and they've turned down the lights here, as you can tell.
I'm sure Pat's very happy with that. Well, not Pat Fox, he's probably happy too, but I was talking about Pat Collar. But
54 seconds left now. And a punting down for the Bears. A good punt. Right about at the 49-yard line. Harris has it. Harris not down yet, and finally brought down at the 49-yard line.
Hey, Harris did a good thing just to pick that ball up after it went through his hands. And that's one of the things as the game goes on too. The balls, even though they are changing balls, quite a bit today.
Be careful.
It's going to get
slippery. You're going to get some fumbles, as we just did on that previous play for the Bears. Clock winding down now, 40 seconds and still running. Here's the punt.
See, they didn't really get that close to blocking it.
No.
Here comes the ball to Harris, goes right through his hands. And he just picks it up, ends up probably with a net return of 0 yards.
Pretty good punt.
Yeah, very good
by
punt.
the Bears as they keep him in midfield. Oh, Burks gets in there for the sack. And a big play to end this first half as Jeff Burks has done it offensively and defensively for the Bears. Has to pick up a little offensively, but what a sack as he blitzed in from his linebacker position.
And it's not going to end the half. Kimball Knights are going to call a timeout, try to get one more play out of this half.
With 10 seconds left, they still have time to run one, maybe two plays, depending on what they call here.
Man, Burks just went through there untouched.
He saw the opening and got in there to nail the quarterback, John 40, for the sack. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 16 now for the Knights. The Knights leading 7-0. There you see the Berkeley Bear defense. And they have done a nice job in stopping the Knights after a couple of drives where they looked like the Knights were going to get in. But they stopped them twice after that on their next two possessions.
Well, now the Bears, all they have to do is hope to hold them out of the end zone here. They can give them a big gainer if they want. There's only 10 seconds left. Bears have to be looking at it like, all right, just go in, down 7-0. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. Who knows? Maybe that big sack is going to be what it takes to fire Burks up. But if you watched, after he got up from that sack, he was pumping his fist. He was fired up from it.
But a back like that who relies on his cuts and his moves with this wet turf and conditions has really not been able to do much, but he's helping out defensively. 2nd and 16 with 10 seconds left. The pass to 40, and they run their own little flea flicker. And it goes out of bounds with 1 second left on the clock.
And I think Kimball just used a timeout. If they're going to try to run this with... Now the clock stops for the move of the chains.
Okay.
They're never going to get a snap off if they don't have a timeout left.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
There's no way.
As soon as the ref starts the clock, they start the clock, and that'll do it. So you were right, Joe. They couldn't get it off with that 1 second left. But let's take a look at how we end the first half here.
Yeah, geez, hadn't seen this in 3 years, and now
we see it twice in one game.
That lateral was almost forward. If you were to look at that real close, that you didn't really throw it backwards.
So
it doesn't matter. They didn't score.
Doesn't matter. It ends the first half here at Berkeley High School. Pretty tough battle between these two teams. 7-0 is the Kimball Knights lead going into the halftime locker room. We'll be back with some halftime stats for you and some more insight from Joe Abramson right after these messages. Stay with us.
Where's the fun new place to look at entertainment news and celebrity gossip 24 hours a day?
Madonna is now seeing a dancer.
Look-y.
Where's the fun new place to look at intimate interviews with the latest and the greatest?
Bo knows entertainment.
Look, E.
See, I mean...
Where's the fun new place to look at movies being made, music being played, TV, what to see, and lots more.
And I go, are you Jack Nicholson? He goes, yeah. Are you finished?
Look, E.
E.
Whenever you want to know what's happening in the world of entertainment,
Looky here.
E.
Entertainment television.
E Entertainment Television, the all-new, all night and day, all entertainment channel.
All right.